Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to show you a DIY attempt at a PlayStation Vita XL. So if you have a look at this here, you can see that we have the PlayStation Vita interface, and all it is a PlayStation TV stuck onto the back of a monitor with some of these Linx Vision controllers stuck on the side. So basically, the PlayStation Vita is like a fixed console that you use at home, but I'm making it into a portable console by running it from a power bank, and also the monitor and these controllers are all fed from the Vita and the power bank, so it makes it completely portable that you can play it anywhere. Now when it comes to the original Vita, you can see the size difference there. There's quite a big size difference, so this is a 10-inch screen, but the original Vita does have a lovely screen and also is touchscreen. This is not touchscreen. As well as this is much lighter and way more portable. For example, this is 1100 grams, so it's going to be something that you can't carry in your pocket. But yet if you want it to play on a bigger screen at home, yet you still wanted it portable to take it from room to room, or maybe if you want a long car journey and you're a passenger, in which case then you might want to play on the big screen rather than playing on the small screen of the Vita. Now this hasn't been hacked, so there's less games available for the PlayStation TV than there is the PlayStation Vita, so if you're making this up yourself, bear that in mind. But apparently it's very easy to hack. I haven't done it, but it is an easy hack to make the PlayStation Vita TV play all the PlayStation Vita games. Now there is other benefits of this as well, because we have clickable analog sticks, while the Vita doesn't, and also the Vita's lacking shoulder buttons. It's only got the left and the right, while on this one here it mimics the Xbox controller, so obviously we have the right trigger, right bumper, left trigger, left bumper. So when you're playing games, you haven't got to worry about hitting the corners of the Vita or using the touch pad at the back. It can all be done on the controllers here. The other main benefit is that we can play it in, for example, tabletop mode, a bit like the Nintendo Switch. So at the moment these controllers are working here, but you can disconnect the back, just disconnect the USB, which I'll show you later in the video, and then you can use your DualShock 4 controllers or even your PlayStation 3 controllers. So if you have a look there, this wouldn't be possible to do on the PlayStation Vita. So if you want to do it in tabletop mode with your friends, then you can play your two-player games sitting back on the bigger screen with a controller each in your hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the inside of it, and then I'm going to show you a bit of gameplay at the end of the video. Now one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, which is probably the main benefit of this, is the PS4 link. So this will allow remote play to your PlayStation 4 or your PlayStation 4 Slim or Pro, and then you can have all your PlayStation 4 games on here as well. So with the Vita it gets slated for the lack of games, but actually there's loads of PS1 games available for it. There's loads of PSP games, the PlayStation Portable games, and mini games as well. Then you have your PlayStation Vita games, and as well as that you can do your remote play from your PlayStation 4. So it's actually a system which has got a lot of benefits to it. Now just quickly before I show you part of the build video, if you want to put a cartridge into the Vita, it's really easy to do on the TV. We just need to pop up this bit here, and then we're just going to get our game cartridge, and then you're just going to pop it in there like so, close it, and then it will start loading up here. Now this has a 46 watt hour battery in it, so I'm going to be getting over 3 hours use. When it starts to get low, then if we want to charge it, all we have to do is unplug, so basically power down the PlayStation TV like you would normally do by holding down the power button, and then you go to power off, but I'll leave it on for the time being. And then what you do is you would unplug it once it's dead from the TV. You would also unplug the monitor as well, this DC cord here, and then if you have a look, I've got a USB cable here that's just stuck on by Velcro, and you would plug this into a charger, and this would then charge up the Anchor power bank inside the actual housing itself. Right, now let me show you that build video. So I've taken apart the old controller. You can see here that you have to take off the back, you have to remove this little metal X, and then it uncovers more screws, and then at the very bottom you will have the little dock that the old tablet used to sit on, so you need to remove the wires from there, and that's where we're going to attach the USB cable. So get yourself a USB cable, take off the male part of it, and then you should find that in your USB cable it's black, red, white and green, and then you just need to marry it up to the same colours from this controller here. So these were the wires that were attached to the old dock, so we just need to connect up white to white, black to black, red to red and green to green. So now I'm going to solder all this up and then just put electrical tape around it to keep it all insulated so nothing shorts against each other. And this wire here, ignore that wire, that's just a blue wire, so just leave that one disconnected, and then we would have the left and right controller working as one controller on the PS Vita. Okay, so as you can see now, I've got the controllers glued onto the side of the monitor. I had to take away part of this one here to stop it fouling against the screen going on top. I've put a bit of cardboard here just to stop the cables from shorting against the circuit board from the monitor. We've got an Anker dual outlet power bank, so that's 5 volts on each of these at the same time. And we've got a micro USB cable to charge this up when it goes flat. You can see that there's 2 lights on the battery there, but when the cover's on, I'm not going to be able to tell how much battery life is on it. I could have flipped this round and then I could have cut a little hole out of the back of the monitor to see, but I know that I'm going to get so many hours out of this because there's 46 watt hours, so I know once I get to about 3 hours just to charge it up again. So what I'm going to now do is put the Cronus Max in here, tidy up all the cables, tape these down to get everything out of the way for when the monitor screen goes back on the front again. So everything is taped up now, Cronus Max is in its place. We had to cut back the USB cable feeding it, and also I've just taped it on just to stop it coming loose. I've had to take a little bit out the side of the screen there, and also here just a little cutout just to allow the controllers to fit in without fouling the screen. So now we just need to put the screen back on and concentrate on the back. So in tabletop mode we have these two synced up, but we need to disconnect this controller here because this is acting as player 1. So just go to the USB at the back and just unplug it, and then we're going to navigate our way on this one here to settings, and then you need to go to wireless controllers under devices. Wireless controllers, controller number, let's change that to 1 and then get out of that. And then use this one to go to devices, and we're going to change this to number 2. And now you can see that's gone to blue and that's gone to red. So now we will be able to play a 2-player game. Let's go to Nidhogg. Now this is something you wouldn't be able to do on the Vita itself. But because it's acting as a PlayStation TV, you can do it, because you can connect up these controllers to it. Right, and if you have a look, can you see that this is a yellow one? Yeah, and this one here is the orange one on the right hand side. So in this option here, just like the Nintendo Switch, it might be fun to play it in tabletop mode. So we just work our way down to PS4 Link, and now it's going to connect up to the PlayStation 4. Now obviously this will be heavily dependent on how good your Wi-Fi signal is. Also it helps if your PlayStation 4 is actually connected up via an Ethernet cable. It makes at least that side of the connection good. So obviously the stronger the Wi-Fi signal, the better connection it's going to be. But if you have a look there now, you can see that we now have the PlayStation 4 in a handheld device, which is nice. And if you've got a good signal, then the experience is okay. It's not brilliant, remote play is never perfect, but remember, this is going to be displaying at 720p. So although the monitor is 1080p with the PlayStation TV, it's going to be 720p, which is pretty good. Right, let me just show you a bit of Drive Club, then I'm going to show you a bit of Fortnite, my son playing that. As you can see, it does look nice, even though it's 720p on a screen so small, because it's only 10 inches, it still does look, actually looks amazing. Hopefully that's coming across in the camera. And it is a better experience than playing it on the Vita, just purely because of the controls. Just quickly, just to show you that the triggers are analog. If you watch this now, let me just brake. So if I just do it a very small bit, hold on 1 second, right, here we go, so you can see now, there, yeah, and then more, and then full, and again with the braking, a little bit, and more. Right, okay, Fortnite time. So you can see it looks really good. And I think when it comes to playing at home, I think that really this would probably be more preferable than the PlayStation Vita because of those extra controls that you have, and as well as that, the bigger screen. Obviously if you bring it onto a crowded train, then the PlayStation Vita is going to win all day. Also the colours on the PlayStation Vita definitely look better. But I think you know, for those of you that like to build stuff like this, it's a relatively easy build to do, not overly expensive. You can get a second-hand PlayStation TV now for around £40 to £50 in the UK. The monitor's £80. You pick up these controllers second-hand on eBay for £15. Power banks, it's up to you what you want to spend on it. I think it was about 25, and the expensive part of it is the Cronus Max, because you need to, these are Xbox controllers, so natively they don't work with the PlayStation TV, so you need to get the Cronus Max to convert that. But there might be other adapters that do it. I had a little play around with a few different ones, and I didn't spend long on it, but that was the only one that I could get to work. But there you go. So that's Fortnite on the PlayStation Vita, which looks pretty good. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care. Bye now.